One wrong move and disaster could strike. Yet military pilots perform this incredible mid-air refueling operation every single day. Imagine flying a fighter jet at more than 900 kilometers per hour, thousands of feet above the ocean. Your mission is far from over, but your fuel gauge is already dropping. Landing isn't an option, and returning to base would mean abandoning the mission. So, how do modern air forces solve this problem? The answer is one of the most impressive operations in military aviation: mid-air refueling, also known as air-to-air refueling. This incredible procedure allows military aircraft to refuel while flying, extending their range, endurance, and combat capability without ever touching the ground. Every mid-air refueling mission begins long before the aircraft leave the runway. Mission planners calculate fuel requirements, weather conditions, flight routes, rendezvous points, and emergency procedures. Every detail must be carefully coordinated because even the smallest mistake can put both aircraft at risk. Once airborne, the tanker aircraft heads toward a predetermined refueling area. Depending on the mission, this could be over the ocean, across a desert, or high above friendly territory. Aircraft such as the KC-135 Stratotanker, KC-46 Pegasus, or Airbus A330 MRTD are designed specifically for this vital role. Meanwhile, the receiving aircraft, whether it's an F-35 Lightning II, F/A-18 Super Hornet, F-22 Raptor, B-2 Spirit, or even another large military aircraft, flies toward the rendezvous point. When the two aircraft finally meet, the real challenge begins. The receiving aircraft slowly approaches the tanker from behind, maintaining an incredibly precise position. At speeds often exceeding 500 kilometers per hour, the pilot must keep the aircraft perfectly stable while flying only a few meters away from another aircraft. Any sudden movement caused by turbulence or pilot error could instantly end the refueling attempt. There are two primary methods of aerial refueling. The first is the flying boom system, used by the United States Air Force. A trained boom operator controls a long telescopic boom extending from the rear of the tanker. Using cameras or direct observation, the operator carefully guides the boom into the receiving aircraft's refueling receptacle. Once connected, thousands of liters of fuel can flow into the aircraft within just a few minutes. The second method is known as the probe and drogue system. Instead of a rigid boom, the tanker deploys a flexible hose ending in a basket-shaped drogue. The receiving aircraft extends a probe from its nose or wing, and the pilot carefully inserts it into the moving basket. Although this method transfers fuel at a slightly slower rate, it is widely used by naval aviation and many allied air forces because of its flexibility. Maintaining a stable formation throughout the process demands extraordinary skill from both crews. Pilots constantly make tiny control inputs to compensate for turbulence, changing aircraft weight, and air currents generated by the tanker. Communication is continuous. Every instruction, from the initial approach to disconnecting after refueling, is coordinated through radio calls and standardized procedures practiced countless times during training. When the required amount of fuel has been transferred, the tanker signals the receiving aircraft to disconnect. The fighter gently moves away before returning to its mission, now carrying enough fuel to continue flying for hours longer. Mid-air refueling is far more than a convenience. It is a strategic force multiplier. Without it, long-range bomber missions would be impossible. Fighters would have much shorter combat ranges. Surveillance aircraft would have to return to base far more frequently, reducing their effectiveness during critical operations. Aerial refueling allows military aircraft to patrol vast oceans, escort bombers across continents, provide humanitarian assistance after natural disasters, and rapidly deploy forces almost anywhere in the world. One of the most remarkable aspects of aerial refueling is the teamwork behind every successful connection. Pilots, boom operators, tanker crews, mission planners, air traffic controllers, and maintenance personnel all contribute to a process that often lasts only a few minutes, but requires years of training and experience. Modern technology has made aerial refueling even safer and more efficient. Advanced navigation systems, digital flight controls, night vision equipment, and high-definition cameras help crews operate day and night in almost any weather conditions. Future tanker aircraft are expected to introduce even greater levels of automation, reducing pilot workload while increasing precision and operational efficiency. Yet, despite these technological advances, one thing remains unchanged. The success of every aerial refueling mission still depends on the professionalism, discipline, and extraordinary flying skills of the crews involved. The next time you see a fighter jet flying thousands of kilometers from home or a stealth bomber crossing an entire ocean, remember that its greatest source of power may not be the engines beneath its wings, but the fuel transferred high above the clouds by another aircraft. Mid-air refueling is one of the greatest achievements in modern aviation, proving that with precision, teamwork, and engineering excellence, the sky is no longer a limit. It's simply the beginning of the mission.